Hello, and welcome to Story Time. Today, we're going to be reading The Land of Misfit Toys. Once upon a time, in an island far, far away, there was a young princess named Penelope. That's me! She was quirky and loud and colorful. The people in her town didn't understand her, so she felt she had to leave and find a place to make her own. She searched and traveled to find some place where she would fit in. She went through forests and valleys, mountains and beaches in hopes of finding a new place to settle down. One day, she happened upon the legendary Bear Mountain. Legend has it that there was a large bear who had rest on top of the hill. The bear loved the sun, so he laid there all day. One day, the bear got sick with a really bad stomach ache. But he didn't want to leave, because the top of the hill was his home. He was comfortable there. So he stayed there and became a part of the hill. It is said that you can feel the warmth of the sun the most in the bear's favorite spot. Penelope liked the idea that the bear was comfortable there, that it was his home. So she decided she would stay there too. She waited in the sun, starting to settle in, when she heard a very loud, high-pitched noise coming from the distance. It continued to get louder and louder until she saw a very large purple unicorn. When the unicorn reached the top of the hill, she called out with a very loud neigh sound, similar to a horse. Her call was gloriously loud, so Penelope asked her to join her on top of the hill for company. They sat together and talked about how the purple unicorn was too loud for her own town and was asked to leave. Moments later, the ground started to rumble. A large and very colorful caterpillar emerged to the surface. "Hi," he said. "Welcome to Mother Earth's garden." Penelope and the unicorn looked at the caterpillar, very confused. "What's the garden?" The caterpillar told them to follow him. They followed the caterpillar down the hill to a large white fence. They walked up to the fence to see that it was covered in mustache prints. Penelope, trying to gather her bearings, noticed a sign saying, "Protect the Mustache King." Then, before she even had a chance to ask about the sign, the caterpillar started screaming like, "Ah!" which turned out to be the code to open the gate. Slowly, the white fence started to open. Suddenly, there was a sparkling view of strawberry fields that felt like it went on forever. The sun, the same bright sun that protected the bear on the top of the hill, was nourishing the field. Penelope decided at once that it must be the spot for her and her friends to collect food for their new home. Looking out into the fields, Penelope spotted something moving. It was a couple frolicking through the strawberry fields. They seemed to be like the perfect couple. When they reached her, they started to explain that they were in love, but they weren't allowed to be together because they looked different. So they had run away from their homes to be together and were looking for a place to stay. Penelope, appreciating their individuality, asked if they would like to stay with her and her new friends on top of the hill. She decided she would call them Romeo and Juliet. Accepting Penelope's invitation to join the group, the five of them started to form a brand new friendship. Penelope took everyone back to the top of the hill to sit in the sun and continue to discuss their new life together. When they reached the top of the hill, they saw two girls riding a pink bike towards them. When the two girls reached the top, they got off the bike and went right up to Penelope. One of them said, "Hi, I'm Carrie. Most people call me Carefree because of my ride." She paused and looked at Penelope and the rest of the gang, and then added, "This is Dream World. Everyone calls her that because she's in her head all the time." She said this while pointing towards the other girl. The group started and stared at the two girls blankly. Carrie continued, "We were too colorful for our own town. We kept giving everyone headaches, so we are traveling around trying to find others like us." The group, realizing the similarities between them, smiled at the two of them and welcomed them in with open arms. Because they were being so accepting, Carrie offered the group rides on her big pink bike, and Dreamworld offered her pink fan to cool everyone off from the hot sun. As time passed, the group became more and more like a family. One day, as they were walking down the hill to the strawberry fields, they heard party music in the distance. Naturally, they were all curious. So they followed the music down to the hill to find a large party. They were celebrating a birthday party. A small pink pig bounced up to the group. He looked at Penelope and he said, "Welcome to the pig party!" Excited and confused, she asked, "What's a pig party?" The pig, with a large smile on his face, said, "I, the pig, am in charge of throwing birthday parties! Today we are celebrating 2, Captain and Santa's. Come on in." Without hesitation, the group followed the pig into the party. There was music and lights, and snacks and party poppers, and birthday hats, and lots of friends. As the group made their way around the party, talking to everyone, Penelope came to discover that this group of friends were all from towns that abandoned them because they were too colorful or too loud or too obnoxious. Because, basically, they were all different. Penelope was appalled by this thought. She had thought it was just her who wasn't welcome in her own town. But the thought of this many friends who weren't welcome was too much for her to bear. She was saddened by this. While everyone continued to enjoy the party, Penelope went and sat in the corner and thought about this unfortunate truth. She sat alone for a while until out of the corner of her eye, she saw a figure moving towards her. Mr. Duck sat down right next to her. He said to her, "Hi, I'm Mr. Duck. I'm known for my storytelling." Penelope looked up at him, just for a moment, and then she put her head back down without saying anything. He continued, "Why so down?" Penelope looked up at him once again, mumbling, "I'm upset about how many people are not welcome in their towns. There are so many incredible friends that are pushed away because they are different." Tears started rolling down her face. Mr. Duck put his wing around Penelope to hold her just for a moment. After a minute or two, Mr. Duck looked at Penelope and explained, "You know, you are right when you think about it. It is very upsetting that people cannot be more accepting. But you are not like that." He paused for a moment as Penelope looked at him. He continued, "More importantly, you understand what all these people, all these friends in this room have gone through, and because of that, you are so welcoming." She started to smile. He pointed at her friends and said, "You see that group of people you came in with here?" She nodded and he continued, "Well, I bet they were all lost until they found you. You welcomed each and every one of them in without hesitation, regardless of how many there are. That is what made them feel like they had a home or a family." Mr. Duck looked around the room. "Everyone in the room right now has nowhere else to go. That's why we all gather here together every once in a while." Penelope smiled, thanked Mr. Duck for the talk, and got up from the corner. She had a brilliant idea. Penelope went up to Captain Records, who was DJing, and asked to borrow his microphone to make an announcement. He gave it to her and stopped the music. Everyone stopped dancing and looked up at Penelope very confused. She said, "Hi everyone, I'm sorry I'm stopping the music. It will just be for a moment." She paused, looked at Mr. Duck, and continued, "If you don't know me, my name is Penelope. I understand that most of you were forced to leave your homes because you were different than the rest of them and were not welcome there anymore. I had the same thing happen to me. The town I grew up in did not understand me. They thought it was weird because I was colorful and loud and crazy. I was different from all of them, and instead of trying to understand me, they made me leave." She paused and looked around to the crowd of people. She said, "Did anything like that happen to any of you?" Everyone in the room raised their wings, paws, and tails. "Look around you," she said. "Everyone in this room is going through the same thing. We all may look different. We are all the same through our experiences." Realization set over the room. over the sea of abandoned friends. They were all different. They were all in the same room for the same reason. They were all different. Penelope then said, "I think we should stay together. I have already found a nice home on top of the warm hill that gets plenty of sun and has strawberry garden nearby. That could be our home. We could stay together as a big family. Welcome everyone that wasn't welcome in their own town. Show them that we are important individuals, even though we don't look or act the same. What do you guys think?" Penelope looked into the crowd. There was a silence. She put her head down and was about to head off the stage when her friends all joined her at once. As a group, they had announced that they would stand by her side because she was the only one who really cared about them. Moments later, many of the friends started raising their paws and wings and asked to join their family. Some friends even started to offer ways they could help out the group. Banana offered her boat to travel down the river. Ranger offered his shield to protect the group. And Hulk Fist offered their fists to help build a shelter for all of them to stay in. Penelope smiled with hope. She looked at all the friends who had wanted to stay on the island together. The group immediately got started building their home on top of the hill. It eventually was their own little island with everything that they needed. And as time went on, the group grew larger and larger, and a group of friends appreciated Penelope and all the help and hard work to bring this island together. So they insisted that she be called the princess of the island. She accepted their gratitude and kept the name, but insisted that they were all equals in their new place. As more and more friends found their way to the group of misfits, Princess Penelope, me, welcomed them in with open arms. It was a large and happy family that they had created, filled with different types of individuals who are now all have a place to call home. It is said, this island of Whimsicalatonia, where all the friends lived, eventually became known as the land of misfit toys, where everyone is welcome. And you can go there today and see me and everyone else, and we'll welcome you in just the same, just as I've done with all the friends before you. It is said to be one of the most colorful places on earth. The people who go there will always have fun, and more importantly, will always feel loved. The end.